What's up everybody, it's Christine with White Clover Fine Art Studios, and I'm so excited to be doing this video for you because it is my first unboxing, which means new art supplies, and that is so exciting. And it is my first super editing new techniques and learning how to put videos together, and I'm really excited about that. So welcome, and I hope that I answer some questions for you or make you feel better if you're thinking about buying these pencils, which are the Stabilo CarbOthello pastel pencils. Now, I'm not inexperienced with these pencils. I've been using them for about a year. But I've had the smaller set of 24, and I do a lot of animal portraits. Although I love the pencils so much and the quality is amazing and I love how they lay down and feel in your hands, the one thing I found myself lacking was that I was always reaching for colors that I didn't have available to me in the smaller set of 24. I wanted to find a set of pastel pencils that really met my needs as far as the umbers and the siennas and the varying shades of gray. And I did some research and talked to a couple of artists. The first one that comes to mind is Jason Morgan, who does the most amazing wildlife art that I've ever seen anybody do with pastels, and it just blows your mind. And if these were the pencils that he was using and getting the colors that he needed for his projects, then that was what I was going to do. And price point as far as art supplies go, they're not terribly expensive. In case you're wanting to try pastels and you don't do a lot of animals or something, highly recommend starting off with whatever set you can get. But anyway, I'm going to jump right over into the unboxing and to a quick little demonstration of the color palette. And I started on the eyes for this owl. Now, he's not finished yet, and I really just meant to do the eyes, but I got carried away because I also got Pastel Matte, and I am going to be doing a review on Pastel Matte also because people have been talking to me about Pastel Matte. I've been hearing about it for a year. I didn't want to buy it because it was like $25 for 12 sheets of paper, and you know that emoji with like the exploding brain? That's how I feel about this Pastel Matte. It is everything that people have recommended. Do it. It's so worth it. So anyway, I'm going to be doing a review on Pastel Matte, on Faber-Castell Pastel Minis. That's coming up too. But this one is about the pastel pencils, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, so the first thing I noticed when I got the box was the size of it. I'm not really sure what size I was expecting to see, but it was about half of the size of what I anticipated. About the size of a laptop, give or take. The other thing that I noticed was the weight of it. And it's not very heavy, but it's definitely solid. Really loving that Stabilo packaging tape. And they apparently love it too. The sliding out feature was so much fun. This box is a really heavy duty 10. It's really nice. So the set comes with a handheld sharpener that I'll do a little demo on later on in the video. A kneaded eraser, which I also talk about, and a blending stump, which I was really excited to see because I had forgotten to order any. Now the pencils themselves are solid in weight and fit very comfortably between your fingers. The barrels are made of cedar wood, and they're coated with the same pigments as the inner core. They're also stamped with unique numbers to make them easy to identify, and gold stars which identify their light fast rating. So 0 being not light fast at all, and 5 being the highest rated. The majority of this set are 3 and 5 star ratings. So I was really happy to see that more than half of this set fell into the neutral earth tones palette, making it really ideal for animals and landscapes. You do have a small selection of reds and purples, and a little larger selection of blues, and a really good selection of greens. But predominantly, you have a large selection of browns. So lots of siennas and umbers in there. Moving into the yellow ochres. And then you have some really nice gray choices. You have some French grays, some warm and cool grays, and of course you have black. And I was really happy to see that there is an ultramarine blue down there and a black grape, which are two of my favorite colors to use in black fur, and this dusty rose color, which is, I love to use it in flesh tones and cream colored fur. So you have a really good selection if you like to do lots of natural pieces. Moving on to application, these pencils lay down extremely smooth. Even on a textured surface like this, they do not feel rough or scratchy at all. I'd like to note here that this is a very small piece of paper. It's a 5x7, and I would not recommend that, especially if you're a beginner, to work on anything much smaller than this. And in fact, a piece maybe twice this size would be ideal unless you plan on using colored pencils for fine detail. And the reason for this is because although you can achieve a fine point with these pencils, because of the softness of the pastels, it makes it very difficult to get into tight areas like creases and eyes. If I was not doing a review on these pencils, I would have opted to use my colored pencils to create the eyes, just because it was pretty difficult to get all those tiny details in the reflection of the pupil. Now, I did have some problems with the kneaded eraser breaking when I tried to stretch it, but it did pick up the pastels when I needed it to, so I really cannot complain there. Overall, whether you are a beginner or you have an advanced skill level, I would highly recommend picking up this set of Stabilo CarbOthello pastel pencils, especially the set of 60. You cannot go wrong with the color selection here, especially in combination with other pastels such as pan pastels, Faber-Castell minis, and especially if you combine them with colored pencils to get those really fine details. The possibilities are really endless here, and I really think you will enjoy them as much as I do. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back to see our review on Faber-Castell Pastel Minis and Pastel Mat.